Hey guys, this is Chodaros, and I have a new bracelet by Nixon21. This is the Summer Paradise bracelet. It is number 3 out of 4 of a series that she is doing on seasons. So this is just my practice one, which I think it came out pretty neat. And the bands that I used, I actually just found the other day at Michael's. They're a mixed metallic pack, and I'm assuming they were rainbow loom bands, but I'm assuming that they are from Michael's. Like Michael's has their own renditions. So, I mean, they're okay. So this is the back, I presume. And then this to be the front here. So, you will need a 5-pin bar setup. So we have our 1, 2, 4, 5, the same height, and then our center one is just down 1 peg. So we have a little bit of a design, so it was kind of neat, like a old-time fashion traditional loom bracelet. So I'm going to use jelly blue, dark blue, I'm going to kind of try to keep this laying so you guys can see it, for this border. So that's the first thing we're going to lay, is where I have that pink. And then I'm going to put some beads on it. They're like little seashells. So I'm going to put those where I put this band here. Okay, so make sure that you start out by putting your finishing band there, and then take your bands out to the outer pin bars, like that. Okay, so we'll start the pattern. So it's 1 up, and then 1 in, and then to the center, and then from the center out. That's your pattern, and that's what you're going to do the whole way up your loom. So I left this one out here, but the next time I'm going to put it in. Actually, I just so lied to you, I forgot. But that's okay, because that's close to our wrist, so I'm just going to say I did it on purpose. Alright, so then again we go out. I missed it again. And then I'm going to put a beaded band here. Now here's going to be the tricky part, okay? You see how that's different? You can see the edge. This one is a little bit over. It might not be different if I stretch it out. Yeah. The reason I was thinking, what I was thinking was, these are one-sided beads, so I'm not sure which side comes off the loom, if it's facing down or if it's this side here. It would be the facing down side, because you loom the border up first. So I'm going to face these down. So they're black on one side. Okay, sorry. All right, and then we take 1 in. And then we go up to the center. And then we take it from the center out, making an X. Okay, so again, we go from where we left off, out. And then we add our band. And mine has a certain shape too, so I want to make sure that it's all pointing the same direction. and then take your 2 bands in, and then up to the center, and then back out. Okay, so that's what your loom should look like. I'll do one more and then we'll break and do finish up. So we start by going out to the outer pegs, and then we're going up 1, and then we're going back in, and then we're going to the center, and then 2 more bands out from the center. Okay, so let's finish that up and then we'll meet back here for the next step. Okay, so we have our design started, and if you're doing 2 looms in length, or actually just 1, this is how I ended mine. So the first opportunity I had where it came into the center, that's where I stopped. I only have 1 peg left at the top. So you have 2 and then 1 left. Okay, so our next step is we're going to lay X's up both sides. I'm going to use glitter gold and regular gold. So on both sides you always want to start out with the bottom, with the outer pin bar, and go in. Okay, and then we go back out. So on this side you start from the outer pin bar and go in, and then cross it out. And then I'm going to alternate with regular metallic gold. So you always want to start on the outer pin bar, and that's it. We're just putting X's, and they're all connecting X's, which means where you left off is where you start. Just make sure that you are starting always from the outer pin bar going in. Okay, so we'll do this all the way up until we get to the end of our loom, or to the end of our bands, and then we will meet back to place our last set of bands before we start our looping. Alright, so we are ready to lay this middle, kind of like a star pattern, and it's not like a traditional all the way around excuse me, same direction. We lay 3 and then we come back and we lay the next 3. So we always want to start out going from the center down to the left, and then straight down, and then down. Sorry, I want to use every other color. Then down to the right. Okay, so after that, then we come back to the beginning, and then we start up to the left, to the center, then back out. Okay, you gotta do it like that so that we can loom it correctly. So then we start the same place that we just did. So we go down to the left, straight down, and down to the right. And then we want to come back, excuse me, and then go up to the left, and straight forward, and then up to the right. Okay, we'll do one more. So we start the center and going diagonally down, straight down, down to the right, and then go back to the beginning, go right, left, center, and then to the right. Okay, so we'll continue those all the way up to the end of our loom. Okay, so we have one last step, and that is this border band here. Kind of shows up on the side there. So it's just like a skeleton border, if you will. Like we would normally lay a perimeter. Going out to the ends. And then straight up. Both sides. And we're going to take it in just how the pegs are up there. Just follow them to that center band. Okay, so let's finish this up and then we can start looping our band. All right, so we can turn our loom around and place our cap band in the center. And ta-da! I have my lighted crochet hook. I doubt I can use it. It hardly has a tip on it, but I'm gonna try. That would be so cool because it's like 4 a.m. here. Let me see what I can do here. Ooh, I got one. So we are only going to loom out the perimeter we just laid. So it's plastic. And bendy, which means it's easy, you can break it. You can't do this on this would be a good hook only. It'd take me 3 hours to loom up this border with it. But I wanted to bring it out. I haven't brought it out but twice. And I posted it a long time ago when I got it on Instagram. And I said, all right, kids, your mom and dad telling you can't loom, you have to go to bed. Well, then you get out get a lighted hook. Then you can loom anytime you want. Go in your closet. All right, done playing. So just loom up your perimeter all the way up into the top. And then we'll move on to the next lighted step. Okay, so the next step is the end. Okay, so we have 2 things we're going to do at once. So the first thing is these 3 bands that we placed, and then these 3 are placed opposite. They're not all in that circle, remember? So these 3 on the bottom, we're going to loom in, and then these 3 get loomed out. So we're going to start in this peg here and grab this band and take it to the center. This one down here, center, push it down, and then this one, center. Okay? And now we're going to reach in the center and grab the first band, which should be going to the left, out. And then the next one, straight up, excuse me, and then last to the right. Okay, that's how we're going to loom all of our starbursts. So next, let's go in here and we'll grab our perimeter, loom that out. Like that. Well, I guess it wasn't time to loom out the perimeter, but it's okay. So our next step is to loom out the X. We're going to do 2 X's at a time, and then we're going to do starburst 2 X's. So now you see that we loomed these 3 out. Now our X's are going to grab those. So we want to do the opposite than we normally do, and we want to grab the bottom band of the X. So in my case, it's the one coming down to this peg. So then I loom it back to itself and then come into this one. And it's not going to be the last band on some of these pegs because we have that zigzag going up our bracelet. So it should be the second to the last. Where are you? Make sure I grab the right one. Okay. There we go. So that's 1X, and then going with the bottom one again, and then the top. And then we come back to this side and loom the bottom of the 2 bands first, and then finish off with our next X like that. Okay, so once we have those 2 done, then we repeat and we go into our center pattern. So we come down into this peg and grab that band, loom it, oops, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I think I skipped. I think I skipped 2 bands. Oh well. So, hang on one second. Let me see what I did wrong, and then I'll be right back. Sorry about that. That was an easy fix. I just had to bring the band up to there. Okay, so since we loomed out our X's, those will act as our cap bands now. So then we want to start on this left side and take our band to the center, center. Then we go into the center and we loom out the other 3. Okay, so once our star pattern, if you will, is done, then that's whenever we go back and we loom our X's. So bottom band goes first, and then the top, and then we do the next one in line. And then this X here. Okay, so we'll do one more. So we start into the left and loom in, center, center, and then we come in the center peg. Okay, so we'll do one more X, and then we will move on by ourselves. And then our next one. Then we come back down. And our last one. Oops. Okay, so just remember you do your star first and then an X, 2 X's, star, 2 X's. Okay, and then I'm sure it's pretty obvious, our last step will be to loom out all of that zigzag border. So you can go ahead and do that if you'd like, but I'm still going to come back after this step and start that border. So if you haven't already done so, our last step is to do all of these cross bands here. So I already loomed out these, so I have to start here. If you kind of picked up on that, then you start looming those out. I'm so used to having a border, I already did them, but that's okay. So remember our pattern, we go up 1, and then we go over 1, and then we go diagonally to the center. Now, this is your chance to fix any mess ups you may have, okay? Obviously, these are our last bands, and this is pulling it together, right? If you see any loose bands that you missed, loom them now. That way you can still catch your bands. So then I'm going to come over to this side. Goodness, I'm just not doing too swift. Okay, there we go. This one has the bead on it, goes straight. And then again, in, and then up to the center. So you have to do each side, right? Then you start your next. So then you want to go out to the left, or, yep, out to the left, and then over, go out, and then over, and then I'm going to start up again. That's my beaded band. So you're going to have a lot of weight on that band. Excuse me. And if you don't have great quality of bands, don't pull on it like I'm doing. I'm putting too much trust into the band. So see how it's not working? Let's just put it on and take your hook and just open it up, and it will take out that tension. Or the other thing, which is the smarter thing to do, is you take it first and pull it. Then it goes right on top. So that's the smartest way to do it. Not like that. Don't do what I do. Alrighty. So just continue the pattern all the way up and then pull it off the loom. I have confidence you guys will be okay with that. Okay, and then we'll meet back and see our rendition. Alright, this is my final excuse me, rendition. I like it. I think maybe I could have used a little bit more contrast in colors. Oh, excuse me. So the beads that we placed in that pattern, we went out a peg, then up a peg, and then diagonally in. They're just kind of resting on that band. So I'm kind of wondering if it's better to loom them on the white bands. Otherwise, another great design. It's very beachy. I want to dedicate this bracelet to my mom. She's been gone now since 2011, and every year, only family vacation we ever took was my parents coming down to visit us and going to the beach for a week. So it's getting close to summer, and I see these little seashells, and so just kind of reminded me of her. So make sure that you check out the description box below and to hashtag your renditions, tutorial for looms, all the other ones you've added, and there you go. So thank you so very much, Nyx21, for a super cool, beachy feeling design. Okay, Well, till next time, we'll see ya. Bye-bye.